You know, it's a funny old world, this whole making video content as a hobby thing that I do. I get to listen to all sorts of bands from all sorts of backgrounds, but rarely, and I mean rarely, do I get the pleasure of reviewing an album from a content creator who I barely associate with music at all, but yet still comes out swinging with a fully formed, intimate, beautiful little project just like this one. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, my name is Ian, this is Rhyme Signatures, and we are for the first time reviewing the best new releases from an established YouTube star. So, what the devil am I babbling about? For those of you not in the know, FLOPSY'S dream is the musical alter ego of one Tom Davies, better known by most as GeoWizard. And with a staggering 1.37 million subscribers, nearly 600 uploaded videos and more than 200 million views on his content, there's a good chance you've probably seen at least some of his videos. Now, I found him through his straight line missions, wherein he attempts to cross from one side of a country to another in as straight a line as possible, with as few deviations as can be done. Tom's down-to-earth personality, tenacity, and effortlessly entertaining presentation style have made him quite the hit in my household. Now, music has run in his veins for a while, as the old-school 16-bit style music that so often accompanies his videos is all written and created by the man himself. But I was not expecting him to create this little half-hour-long album full of the kind of indie dream pop I'd expect from major label artists, let alone a bedroom recording from a YouTuber whose niche doesn't even touch the sides of music. This is the kind of project that would have caught my attention regardless of any kind of prior knowledge or familiarity of the source. Tom has demonstrated here that not only is he very good at dodging irate farmers and navigating his way through gorse-strewn fields, he's also a bit of a dab hand at the acoustic guitar and an extremely accomplished vocalist. So let's make our own little straight line mission, ensure we're stocked up on protein bars and isotonic energy drinks, double check that our GPS system is showing the correct line to follow, and make tracks towards what's so good about pleasant pudding. From the very first note, Pleasant Pudding exudes a quirky charm that is relentlessly endearing. This album is full of lush, careful arrangements and unexpected melodic twists. The music sits somewhere between lo-fi indie folk and dreamy instrumental pop music. Think if, I don't know, Bon Iver had a baby with Damon Albarn. In fact, it is Blur and Gorillaz frontman Mr. Albarn himself whom Tom's vocals remind me of. They've got this ethereal crooning falsetto to them that sounds like a siren call and feels remarkably disconnected from what I'm used to his voice sounding like. His West Midlands drawl is replaced here by something haunting and dreamlike, and his vocal delivery is an easy highlight of the album for me. The record is aptly named. It really is pleasant in the warmest, coziest sense of the word. Tracks like Michael, Outnumbered, and Loyal Girl evoke a very British pastoral nostalgia, blending delicate acoustic guitars with gentle synths and bass grooves that instantly transport you to those misty hills and quiet village lanes that so often form the backdrop of Tom's bread and butter videos. There's a sweetness to the songwriting that feels completely unpretentious. It's just the sound of someone making music for the joy of it. And the production choices throughout are so tastefully done here. Nothing feels overbearing or forced. Every drum fill, every acoustic layer, every lo-fi beat is perfectly placed to serve the overall vibe. It's the sonic equivalent of Tom's editing style on YouTube. It's clean and minimal and never draws attention away from the core journey at the heart of the experience. The album carries a certain quiet belief in simplicity and appreciation for the mundane beauty of the world around us, and an unspoken self-awareness running underneath it all. When you listen to this album, you can almost picture Tom sitting in a cottage somewhere, cup of coffee steaming next to his MIDI keyboard, adding one final synth arpeggio before heading out to walk all the way across Wales. All in all, Tom has delivered an album that feels like a deep exhale. An album that says, hey, life can be hard, journeys can be tough, but there's always beauty to be found if you stop and listen for just a moment. If you're looking for music to soundtrack your studying, your late-night reflections, your quiet Sunday mornings, or heck, even your imaginary trek across a European country somewhere, Pleasant Pudding has absolutely got you covered. Do I really have to do this section? Are you really gonna make me say bad things about Pleasant Pudding? Okay, fine. There's a couple of little tiny gripes that I may as well externalise now that I'm on it. I'm known as a prog rock and metal reviewer, and as such I like dynamics and dramatic switch-ups in my music, and neither of these are really present on this album. The first track sets the pace, and that's exactly what you're going to get for the full half hour, so if that doesn't get your auditory senses going, then you might as well keep on walking here. This is an album with one mission and one statement, and doesn't have the time nor the will to say anything other than what's etched on its incredibly pleasant face. I suppose the one exception to this will be the final minute or so of Never Be Annoyed Again, which pulls the brakes on quite sharply, segues into what feels like an entirely new song, before promptly stopping, starting up again, before stopping once more. It's a weird shift in tempo that threatens to upset the otherwise molasses-smooth flow of the entire record. Now, I'm sure there's a logic behind the songwriting, but I don't know, it kind of juts out at a weird angle for me, and it's an otherwise odd wobble on an album that's built on smooth grooves and non-threatening ideas. So, what else can I possibly say about FLOPSY'S Dreams Pleasant Pudding? Look, I was not expecting to listen to a geographical challenges and wilderness exploration YouTuber's album this year, let alone enjoy it enough to have it stuck on repeat in my house for days, and then feel I have enough to say about it to want to give it the review treatment, but yet here we are. Tom's videos are a staple on my TV, and I've lost count of the number of times I've looked forward to his uploads. So for him to come along, stepping into my world, making music that I genuinely love and want to share with everyone around me, feels like a huge deal. This isn't breaking any new ground, no, this isn't a genre-defining masterpiece that will be talked about in Reverent Tones 50 years from now, but what this is a heartfelt, beautiful little album, drenched in summer vibes and feel-good aesthetics that's easy to recommend to just about anyone who enjoys music with genuine heart and warmth put into it. Last year, I happily called A Dream Is All We Know by the Lemon Twigs my album of the summer, and it is incredibly easy for me to bequeath that title to Pleasant Pudding this year. It's short and it's sweet, but it's endlessly replayable and has absolutely captured my heart in ways I just wasn't expecting. I personally grabbed myself a copy of the vinyl for this one. I think for general recommendation purposes though, I'd say let's go for a digital purchase. It may not be everyone's cup of tea here, maybe a little too whimsical and lacking in variety, but it's just made me smile so darn much that I can't help but fall utterly in love with it. This is all, of course, guys, just my opinion, so if you love this one, if you hated this one, please talk to me about your experiences with the album in the comments down below. Please drop me a thumbs up if you like the video, please do tell your friends about little old me, and please do consider throwing me a subscription if you've been enjoying my content so far. But until next time, guys, as always, keep your rhyme signatures pretty odd.